Since its announcement, Bungie has been as vague as possible when describing their new sci-fi shooter. We knew Destiny would have an open world and aliens to shoot with friends to help you along the way. Sounds like something the creators of Halo would make, so I anticipated the game as just that, another Halo game. It is not another Halo game. The alpha has finally revealed the true nature of Bungie's Destiny. So what is it then? In short, it is a Borderlands MMO with Halo-style combat. Now let me explain. The alpha started off at level 4 and goes up to 8, if memory serves. You could only explore a single region named Old Russia and the game's hub city. This may not seem like much, but it is no overstatement that Old Russia is a large region. Within the 4 or so hours I spent with the game, I still felt like I was discovering new and unique environments, and it seemed as though I was only scratching the surface. You could do one story quest or undertake a wide variety of side quests scattered around Old Russia. Along the way, you will shoot enemies until they die and pick up whatever loot they drop while earning experience and leveling up. In this regard, the RPG system is set up like Borderlands. When you shoot enemies, numbers come out. When you select new weapons and armor, you compare stats. When you level up, you get points towards class-based skills ranging from the typical rogue, warrior, and mage setups. It is an RPG. The RPG elements give way to there being certain level enemies. Eventually, you will find aliens you cannot beat, and then you will come back a few hours later and crush them with ease. As stated before, the level cap was set fairly low, so I only got a small taste of that. However, the sense of reward and satisfaction is evident, and you can see how it'll play into the larger game. It is very possible for random strangers to enter your game seamlessly. From what I saw, they cannot hurt you nor perform any acts of griefing easily, so that is nothing to worry about. In fact, I ignored them for the most part. However, there were a few instances where I jumped into a fight to help a struggling player, or the inverse scenario occurred. There are also public quests that will occur at random from time to time, which require everyone present to cooperate. Although, I saw it happen only once, and there was no one around at the time. Low player count is probably an alpha issue, but it does open up a portal into the future. I can see potential for good cooperation and a healthy community. That aspect of an MMO is alive and looking strong in Destiny, but Activision wants Bungie to make at least 3 of these games. It'll be sad to see the game being abandoned in 3 or so years, considering it places such a large focus on cooperative play. As for other aspects of an RPG MMO, the side quests appear to be the repetitive dance we've seen before in these games. To be honest, I did not do very many of them, but the ones I did accomplish ranged from kill these guys to go here and stand for a bit. I had fun killing guys and standing around for a bit, but it's easy to see how those objectives will wear thin after a few hours of playtime. Which finally brings us to combat. It is just plain good. It's difficult to describe good shooting combat as there are only so many ways to mess up pointing and clicking, but it is a very fun experience. It is a modern FPS, and by that I mean you press the left trigger and then the right trigger a lot. It does have a little bit more going on than that though. It borrows a ton from Bungie's past works. Destiny has really good enemy combatants. Like Halo, there is a nice variety of enemies of differing powers and strength. This is in addition to Halo's smart artificial intelligence. It accumulates into some very exciting gunfights, but the similarities to Halo are so severe that it seems like this is Bungie's version of Halo 4. It also has competitive multiplayer. You can bring your own character into an online match with weapons you found exploring and doing quests, as well as your character's skills. However, I could not tell if there were any over-leveled characters walking around with a clear advantage. As the player cap was so low, it's hard to get a feeling for how the balance will work. Bungie's past track record with online shooters has shown they are almost solely focused on balance and proper matchmaking, so it's easy to take their word on it, but it'll be something fans of competitive shooting might have to look out for. For everyone else, it's the same multiplayer we've been playing since its invention. That is Destiny, a first-person shooter role-playing game with many of the elements of MMOs. Or at least that was the Destiny Alpha. It shows clear potential for an extraordinary game, and I personally can't wait to play the full version to see if the potential is realized. So stay tuned to Andar Nation, where you will see the full review in September, where I will copy and paste everything I just said into a more convincing review.